Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's morning musings is It's Complicated. I'm doing a series of daily morning musings, and I'm using posts to my blog, Adventures in Density and Effort, as inspiration. Now, I wrote these a while back, and the world has completely changed since then. Most of my information is evergreen, but if I encounter anything that is out of date, I will give you the most recent information. At the end, I will summarize the topic based on what's going on in the world today. Also, I have some special offers, so stay tuned to the very end to see what they are. It's complicated. For the past year and a half, I have been living 10 miles from the White House. I've been more inundated with politics, economics, and foreign affairs than in my entire life. I figure it's karma since I've been avoiding these topics for most of my entire life. When it comes to these issues, nothing is black and white. There are multiple layers and angles to everything. For instance, people wonder why the big fuss over voter ID requirements? Doesn't everybody have a driver's license? And if you don't, why is it a big deal to get one? It's surprising to realize how many people in this country don't have ID, don't have birth certificates, and that to obtain these items could cost money that they don't have. $5, $10, $50 is an enormous amount to someone who's been laid off without unemployment or retirement benefits. So voter ID laws target poor people, elderly people, and immigrants. And in many states that have enacted these laws or are trying to enact these laws, they are also strategically closing down or limiting the number of DMVs in those lower income areas. This was written in 2012, and the same thing is still going on. Economics. We're in hard economic times. We should tighten our belts, live on severe budgets, and do without. The thing with austerity measures is that then people don't buy things, which affects manufacturing, affects jobs in manufacturing, affects shopkeepers, affects trucks and other things that transport things manufactured. Austerity shuts everything down. Okay, interrupting again, we're not in a time of economic hardship, though people in red states might experience that, and that's got all to do with their legislatures. We have come out of the pandemic where there was also supply chain issues. We're in a time of greatest economic prosperity that we have experienced in a good 50 years. Some individuals might still be experiencing this reality, but it's not as harsh as it was back in 2012, which was still experiencing the fallout from 2008. Foreign affairs are enormously complicated. You have to consider different cultures and different governments. You can't go charging into situations without knowing all the facts. Demands for transparency can end up threatening the lives of individuals cooperating with the US in countries that are against us. So I don't know where I was getting my news back then, but it's still very similar to now. And the difference between 2012 and now is that we went through 2016 to 2020 with somebody in charge of this country that didn't know any of these things. What we've been experiencing now is somebody with a good 60 years of experience who has tremendous finesse in foreign affairs and the complete trust of most of the countries around the world. In this physical world, everything is complicated. There is no black or white. There's always subplots and sidelines and infinite possible outcomes. However, as consciousness, it's very simple. It either feels good or it doesn't. And at our highest awareness of consciousness, it's all good. When you seek to manifest, you can go the complicated route or you can keep it simple. You can make it complicated by creating intricate detail, by defining what you want down to the smallest detail. Plan out every step you need to take to make it real. Or you can keep it simple by going straight to the feeling you'd like to have. Instead of millions in your bank account, you actually desire peace or freedom. Instead of a specific soulmate, what you really want to feel is love. This week, identify the feeling you imagine you'll have if you got whatever you desire. It's not necessary to define it or give it a label. Take time to feel that feeling every day. This sets into motion the manifestation of what you desire. It may show up looking different than what you posted on your vision board, but you'll be happier having it. Try this for the next 7 days and see what happens. I thought this was interesting because I don't read these beforehand, so of course I started going down the election rabbit hole. I pivoted to a completely different thing, which has to do with the essence of manifesting in your life. Reality is so complicated on this physical level that both things happen at once. I just got off a webinar that had to do with some legal things, and I also realized early on in this webinar, it wasn't the one that I needed to be on. So I had an hour and a half of listening to things that could potentially affect my life, but really doesn't have anything to do with the forms that I need to fill out. And it is so complicated. Legal things are so complicated complicated. And the interesting thing about the legal things are they're all moving towards seeking the truth. And in doing so, they have to shine light into all the possible areas of darkness. So it can take a really long time for the truth to get revealed. And that and the voting and everything, all of that is over in the very complicated side of things. Although what we're trying to do, especially in this election, is to go towards the light and to move collectively into a higher, more integrated level of integrity than we've been experiencing before. But in terms of manifestation, it can be a lot simpler than the way we tend to go about things. We tend to apply the same complexity with getting a law degree or medical degree to manifesting our reality. And the essence of what we might want simply is love. The essence of what we want in terms of security might not look like $1 million in the bank or 17 million. I dated someone from Microsoft 24 years ago, and they only had 17 million in the bank and they felt terribly insecure. When you line up with what you want to feel and are in integrity with that, then reality reorganizes in your favor and you end up having the life you really truly want, not the image of perfection that you stuck on your vision board. So if you practice navigating from a feeling of clarity, a feeling of integrity versus that feeling of perfection or what you think you should be going towards, you can just feel how off that is. If you shift the way you're navigating to the feeling of integrity, of clarity, you will find a profound change even in the next 7 days. So if you've had an experience like this, please leave me a comment below. I love to read your comments. And if you like these videos, please share them with your family and friends and on your social media. And also please click the like button and subscribe or follow. And that way you're telling the algorithm to distribute this far and wide and get this out to people who really need to see this information. And if you want a free sample of one of my consciousness techniques, click on the link below to the skybox technique. It'll give you a drone's eye perspective of your life and insight on how to navigate as consciousness. And if you want some manifestation techniques, Manifesting Money and Miracles is my self-study course where you learn specific techniques for increasing miracles and abundance in your life. And you can click on the link below for that. And if you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. There you can sign up for my individual sessions where I take a look at the essence of who you are and what's going on in your life today, and then I can answer any of your questions, whether it's about relationships, about money, about what's coming up in your future, and I can also talk to your deceased loved ones, and it's all recorded just for you. And if you want to learn how to do this for yourself, that is navigate your life as consciousness with the help of some of my consciousness techniques, Manifesting Money and Miracles is a great preparation for my coaching special where I work with you one-on-one and give you specifically chosen consciousness techniques so that you can transform your life. And it's all on my website, joan-newcomb.com, and I'll see you tomorrow in another Morning Musings.